Alright guys, just got done watching TNA Impact for April 19th, 2012, and I thought tonight's show was pretty good actually. I felt it had a lot of entertaining stuff on it. They announced the big open fight night challenge thing that they're supposed to do next week, and that could be interesting. But I thought the show overall was okay. I went into it still kind of pissed off about what happened at Lockdown, how horrible that show was, but Impact did deliver, at least on the entertainment factor tonight. So they recap Lockdown. Bobby Roode comes out. He's got short hair now, which kind of sucks because I liked his crazy Mr. Perfect hair. After he had been wrestling for a while, his hair would just be nuts. Another guy who's like that is Jay Lethal. It's just funny to watch him wrestle because their hair goes nuts, but he does have short hair now. He talks about how he made good on his promise by beating Storm, says there are no more heroes left for him to beat. Mr. Anderson comes out. He tells Roode he's going to take his title and doesn't need a beer bottle to do it. Roode says there's a bunch of people in front of Anderson, so he's got to wait in line for a title shot. So Jeff Hardy comes out. He tells Roode that Angle is the only reason Roode has the title. Anderson says he was here first. Anderson and Hardy start arguing over it's my turn, no it's my turn, I was here first. Kind of ridiculous. Hogan appears on the screen and says he wants all the champions out in the ring tonight, and then he makes a match for Hardy versus Anderson tonight, and whoever wins gets a title shot at Sacrifice. We get the first match, which is Bully Ray and Crimson versus Matt Morgan and Austin Aries. Matt Morgan's got some new tattoos, I guess, or he may have had them at Lockdown, I didn't notice, but I think they're new. Just two giant M's on the back of his arms. It's horrible, man. These guys have some bad tattoos, especially Matt Morgan. But they work over Morgan's leg the whole time. Aries gets the hot tag, he cleans house, he goes for a brain buster, but Bully Ray rolls him up and holds the tights for the win. I thought this was decent. This was a fine match. Backstage, Hardy says he feels it's his turn, and now that Angle's gone, he can focus on the title. Then Garrett Bischoff comes out. He's got his team from Lockdown, AJ, Anderson, RVD. AJ's wearing these big-ass black gloves like he's a cat burglar. He's dressed all in black. Garrett thanks the team for helping him get rid of Eric. AJ says that Garrett's got balls and showed a lot of heart. This makes me sick. This is horrible. I cannot stand Garrett Bischoff. So Ric Flair comes out, thank God, and Flair says that Garrett's so nervous he's stumbling all over himself. He says the talent in the ring is only there because of Eric Bischoff. He says AJ and the others look like punks standing next to a punk like Garrett, which is true, and I cannot believe Flair is the heel here. Flair says he's going to have a party next week for Eric Bischoff, and by the way, every time anybody, Flair here, Mike Tenay, anytime someone would say Eric Bischoff, they would censor the word Bischoff. It was so stupid. Even later on, when they do a promo for next week's Impact and they say Ric Flair is going to have a party for Eric, the word Bischoff is blurred out. So then we see backstage Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Daniels says the secret was never about Kazarian. It was about AJ, and he's got this envelope with him. He says everyone will get their answers tonight, and that was it. Devon, Joe, and Magnus are talking about Hogan having all the champions come out to the ring later. Then we get Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. The show actually cut out here, and just the screen went black and then went straight to commercial with no warning whatsoever. And this, I guess, just a production issue, but this wasn't the only time it happened tonight. So when it comes back, I see Daniels and Kazarian are at ringside. Christopher Daniels jumps on the apron. He's got the paper with him. AJ grabs the paper. He looks down at it. It freaks him out. He stumbles back. Kurt Angle gets him in a roll-up and gets the win. This was pretty stupid, in my opinion. They have nothing. I know they have this angle where they got the secret, and it was supposed to be about something Daniels had over Kazarian. Now it's something they have on AJ. They have no idea what this is. The TNA is trying to book it as they go, I'm sure. and I'm sure they have no plan on what the hell this secret's going to be. They're just trying to slowly build it up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they got nothing. Then we see Joseph Parks asking around about Abyss. He's talking to Gunner. He's actually getting a little more aggressive now. Gunner tells him to ask Bully Ray because he was the last guy, and Joseph Parks is like, Bully Ray? Didn't he already ask Bully Ray? I'm pretty sure he did. I think that was like one of the first people he asked because he had the last match with Abyss. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that already happened. Then we have all the champions come down to the ring. Like I said earlier, the show cuts out here again during Devon's entrance. Just goes black, and then we see commercials. The champions are all out there, and then we see Hogan backstage talking to RVD, making tonight's match with Hardy and Anderson a three-way. Now, actually, I have read that TNA RVD did some kind of contract extension. He's supposed to stay for like another 6 months or something. And they want to get him in the title picture as a reward for staying. I don't think it's a good idea, but it's whatever they want to do. And I guess they're saying, hey, thanks for sticking with us. So they may even drop the belt to him. I don't know. I would hope not, but I wouldn't put it past them. So then Hogan comes out to the ring. He says, change is in the air. Once a month, they're going to have open fight night. They're going to bring in a new guy, and a panel of judges, with Hogan included, will judge the talent and offer them a contract with TNA if they impress them. And they also get to challenge any champion for the belt, and the champions have to agree. Bobby Roode gets mad. Hogan says all the champions have to go, do the matches, and then he points at them all and says, that means you, that means you, that means you. And he points at everybody except Austin Aries, which I thought was funny. And Aries noticed too. He was like, oh, I guess I'm okay. But he tells the fans to tweet him, Facebook him to see who they want to win. Hogan says Devon's TV title will be defended every week now. So we get Fight Night next week. This is not a bad idea. It has potential. They're only doing it once a month. It's very NXT, but once a month I think it could be okay. We could see some new wrestlers that are good, and the talented guys can get jobs in TNA. But I have no faith in TNA to do this. They're going to screw it up. They're going to make this shit. That's exactly what's going to happen. So don't think that this is going to be good. Don't think this is some great idea, because they're going to screw it up. And as far as bringing in new talented wrestlers, where the hell is Zema Ion? Where the hell is Pope? Where the hell are the guys they already have? Douglas Williams. I mean, they don't even use the talent they have now. What makes you think that anybody they bring in is going to mean anything? It means nothing to these people. They let the Young Bucks go. They fired Jay Lethal. They don't care about talent. So this is just another TNA stupid idea. And it could have potential, but I got no faith in this company. They're going to screw it up. I guarantee it. So then we get the Knockouts match. Velvet Sky, Tara, Brooke Tessmacher, Mickie James versus Gail Kim, Madison Rayne, Sarita, and Rosita. One thing in this match that stood out to me was Tara goes for her standing moonsault thing, and she just shakes her entire body like she's Brodus Clay. I thought that was pretty funny. The match breaks down to a brawl, and Brooke Tessmacher beats Gail Kim with a roll-up. This was actually a pretty good match. I was into this one. Backstage, we see Mr. Anderson. Now, either Mr. Anderson is confused about open fight night, or I am. Because he's talking about how I'll challenge anybody for the title. I like that. Well, yeah, but that's only for the people on the show who get the contracts. That's not for people already in TNA with contracts, right? So I think Mr. Anderson may be a little confused, or I'm a little confused. And also another thing about that open fight night, if you can challenge for any title, why would anybody choose anything other than the world title? I mean, why would you choose the TV title or anything else, X Division title, tag titles, if you can go straight for the world title? Backstage, we see Eric Young and ODB. Well, not backstage, earlier this week. They're on their honeymoon, they're tanning someplace, and it was just some comedy. It was alright. Then we get Gunner versus Devon for the TV title. Devon wins with a spine buster. This was actually pretty good. I liked it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Devon drop the belt very soon because if they're doing this thing where the TV champions on TV every week defending, I don't think they're going to let Devon have this much longer. Just something I can see happening. James Storm comes out. He apologizes for losing at Lockdown. Talks about having to tell his daughter he didn't win. He says Bobby Roode won the match, but he didn't beat him. He beat himself. He says he loves wrestling, but maybe Roode was right when he said his luck has run out. And he just drops the mic and leaves. He's kind of depressed. So it reminds me of Sting when Sting said I'm done and then snapped out of it. But yeah, I thought this was an okay segment. Then we get the main event, RVD versus Hardy versus Anderson for the title shot at Sacrifice. Anderson starts it off wanting to wrestle Hardy. RVD agrees. He's like, okay, I'll back off. And then Anderson immediately attacks RVD. Throughout this match, Anderson looked to me kind of heelish. I don't know if he's going to turn heel again in the future, but it came off that way, especially the way he attacked RVD. Hardy hits a swanton on Anderson, but RVD lays him out with a kick. RVD hits a frog splash on Anderson. Hardy gets up, goes for the twist of fate, but RVD turns it around and gets Hardy in a pin for the win. So RVD wins, and he's going to wrestle Bobby Roode for the title at Sacrifice. I don't know what's going to happen. They could give it to RVD just as a thank you. I mean, that could happen. Maybe the thank you is he's even getting the title shot and being the #1 contender, but I don't know. I think they may give RVD another run with the belt, but we'll see what happens in the weeks leading up to Sacrifice. So that was my review of this week's TNA Impact. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this show in the comments. And that's really it. I thought the show was okay. It was a pretty entertaining show, though, I have to say, and it had some good matches. The open fight night being announced, I guess next week we'll see how that goes, but that's going to be iffy. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed, and I will be back tomorrow with my review of SmackDown. So thanks for watching.